Swami Vivekananda, one of the most celebrated spiritual leaders of India, a prolific thinker, great orator, and a passionate patriot. He was born on 12th of January 1863 in Calcutta, Bengal Presidency, which is now known as Kolkata in West Bengal. Vivekananda was known as Narendranath Datta, and he was born in an affluent Bengali family in Calcutta. He was one of the 8 children of Vishwanath Dutt and Bhuvneshwari Devi. His mother had a great impact on her son. He had sharp intellect. He excelled in his studies, first at Metropolitan Institution and later at the Presidency College in Calcutta. He had acquired a vast knowledge of different subjects. He was active in sports, gymnastics, and other activities. His well-studied knowledge led him to question the existence of God, and for some time he believed in agnosticism. Yet he could not completely ignore the existence of a supreme being. Before Vivekananda was born, his mother had observed religious vows, fasted, and prayed so that she might be blessed with a son who would do honor to the family. She requested a relative who was living in Varanasi to offer special worship to the Vireshwara Shiva of that holy place and seek his blessings. One night, she dreamt that this supreme deity aroused himself from his meditation and agreed to be born as her son. When she woke, she was filled with joy. The mother, Bhuvneshwari Devi, accepted the child as a boon from Vireshwara Shiva and named him Vireshwara. The family, however, gave him the name of Narendra Dutt, calling him for short Narendra or Naren. The grandfather Durga Charan, after the birth of his first son, had renounced the world in search of God. The father, Vishwanath, an attorney at law of the High Court of Calcutta, was versed in English and Persian literature and often entertained himself as his friends by reciting from the Bible and the poetry of Hafiz, both of which he believed contained truth unmatched by human thinking elsewhere. The mother, Bhuvneshwari Devi, played her part in bringing out Narendranath's innate virtues. When he told her one day of having been unjustly treated in school, she said to him in consolation, "My child, what does it matter if you are in the right? Always follow the truth without caring about the result. Very often you may have to suffer injustice or unpleasant consequences for holding to the truth, but you must not under any circumstances abandon it." Many years later, Narendranath proudly said to an audience, "I am indebted to my mother for whatever knowledge I have acquired." One day, when he was fighting with his playfellows, Narendra accidentally fell from the porch and struck his forehead against a stone. The wound bled, and left a permanent scar over his right eye. Years later, when Ramakrishna heard of this accident, he remarked, "In a way, it was a good thing. If he had not lost some of his blood, he would have created havoc in the world with his excessive energy." He associated with Brahmo movement led by Keshav Chandra Sen for some time. During his spiritual crisis, Vivekananda first heard about Sri Ramakrishna from William Hastie, the principal of the Scottish Church College. He put forward the question, "Have you seen God?" to Ramakrishna, and Ramakrishna replied, "Yes, I have. I see God as clearly as I see you, only in a much deeper sense." Ramakrishna gradually won over this argumentative young man with his patience and love. The more Narendranath visited Dakshineshwar, the more his questions were answered. He was responsible for the revival of Hindu spiritualism and established Hinduism as a revered religion on world stage. His message of universal brotherhood and self-awakening remain relevant in the current world too. His teachings have been an inspiration to many. His words have become goals of self-improvement, especially for the youth of the country. For this very reason, his birthday, January 12th, is celebrated as a National Youth Day in India.